Hello everyone and welcome to another Fun Fold Friday. My name is Erica from Me Too Paper Crafts, and if you are new to me, I do hope you enjoy this tutorial. And of course, I hope everyone else who follows me enjoys this tutorial. So this is an interesting fun fold that I came across. There's a lady out of Britain who did this. Oh my goodness, I can't remember her name right now. No, can't remember her name right now, but I will certainly write her name down in the blog post. So beneath this video, be sure to click the link and go over to the blog post, because pictures and instructions and all of the scoring and cutting measurements will be there for you if you choose to make the same card. So this card, I'm calling it a 3-point card because of these 3 points at the bottom, but you could call it a triangle card or a triangle card, or you know, whatever you want, but 3 points to me seems to work really well. It stands up nicely as well, and I want to show you how to make this. So this was my prototype, and of course I had to use these adorable sheep again, which is a great birthday set, and I wanted to use it again because just to remind you that Celebration is ending at the end of the month. So you can earn both the stamp set and the dies for free if you place a total of $120 order to get the two of them. And it's just the perfect little birthday card, not just for children, but for adults as well. Some simple little greetings and some added little features like a bit of grass. And then there's a little birthday hat. And then there's 3 different sheep there to celebrate the birthday, and the dies are fantastic. You've got the 3 sheep to cut out, you've got a balloon, you've got a sun, you've got some clouds, and a little hat, and of course this fence, which is fantastic. It can be used for so many other projects as well. So this is just a super little set to have. So remember, you can earn that for free. So there is a link to my online store also below this post. So if you'd like to shop with me, that would be wonderful. Okay, so I've decided to make it more of a monochromatic card. I love this Blushing Bride with my, and I've already colored my sheep using my blends, and I've already cut him out. And he's doing like a little happy dance because it's your birthday. I decided to cut out the fence out of the Blushing Bride just to do something a little bit different. The balloon is also out of Blushing Bride, and when it cuts out, it adds some extra little cutting bits in there to give it some dimension. And then, so I'm using a card base of Blushing Bride. Let's just put these up here out of the way for now. So, and then you pick 2 different sort of coordinating pieces of designer series paper. So the card base is a standard card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5 by 8.5. So it's half a sheet of a regular sized piece of cardstock. And then all 3 of these pieces measure 4 by 5.25. Okay, they're all the same size. So you need a piece of Whisper White. You're going to create this triangle to go on the inside of the card. And then this is your inside outside. So you can decide which one you want. So I think I'm going to put the stripes on the inside, and I'm going to create this sort of pattern on the outside. All right, so there's 2 basic measurements that you need to know. You need to know your fractions. So we are going to be using half of 5.5 to create a little tick mark. So half of 5.5 is 2 3/4, and half of 5.25 is 2 5/8. And you'll see what I mean by using those measurements in a second. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to score my card base, as we typically do. So this is going to be a landscape style card, landscape. And so I'm going to just give that a score at 4 1/4. We will need this again, but I'll just set it aside for now. And let's fold the card up and then bring out the bone folder and do a burnish. So the card lies nice and flat. There we go. All right, so the tick marks now. So take a pencil, and I'm using my grid sheet here. And so I'm just going to go down in this corner here, this left-hand corner. I'm going to line up my card. So half of 5 1/2 is 2 3/4. So you're going to make a little tick mark at 2 3/4 on there. Okay? Because what we're going to do is we're going to cut off 2 triangles here. So while we're doing that, let's do it on all 3 of these pieces, or 2 of these pieces. So I need it for my inside piece. So now I need that other measurement. Half of 5 1/4 is 2 5/8, 2 4 5/8. So there's my tick mark on that one. And this is going to be cut into triangles for the front of the card. So this is also half of 5 1/4 is 2 5/8, 2 4 5/8 right there. So there's all your little tick marks. So you've got 3 tick marks there. Okay, so the first thing that we can do is we can glue the inside panel. So I'm going to use this horizontal striping. So let's just put some tape runner on here. And put this inside the card. Like so. Okay. Now we're going to bring in the trimmer again, because we want to trim all of our triangles. All right, so the front of the card, you're going to line up the score mark here in this track, line up the score mark, and you're lining it up the other end with that tick mark that you created. Okay, so sometimes this takes a bit of jockeying back and forth to get these lined up. But get that tick mark centered in the track as well as the score line. And then you are going to cut that, okay? And you're keeping this, okay? Then you're going to turn it around and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to put the score mark in the center of the track and the tick mark. Like so. And I don't want to use my blade coming up on that point. Sometimes it can ridge up, ruin that paper. It'll just push it up. So I like to go from the other end and cut, okay? So there you've created the front of your card. All right, we'll erase these tick marks when I've done them all. All right, let's bring in this one. So now this one, you're going, pretend that this is your score mark like you did on the front of the card. You're going to be cutting from this corner down to the tick mark. So again, you want to cut from the bottom up towards that point. So get those nicely centered. Whoops. And cut. And then you're going to do the same on this side. Now, I've got 2 points now. See that? 2 points? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my blade somewhere in the middle. I'm going to cut up and then down. Okay, I do not want to wrinkle up those corners. All right. So there is your piece for the inside of your card. Or sorry, for the front of the card. And then last but not least, we're going to do the exact same thing on this piece of basic white. Take your time at lining these up. These you're going to be discarding. You don't need the white ones. And again, I've got 2 points here at each end. So I'm going to bring my blade onto it and then go up and down. All right. So that's all the cutting that we need. So now I'm going to erase my tick marks. So that's done. And this one is done. And this one is done. Okay. So this piece here, this piece of designer series paper, this is going to get glued right onto the front of the card. And you want to, I would use Tombow glue so that you can wiggle it around a little bit to get it positioned just right. Okay, so I'm going to pull out my Tombow glue. And you want to try and get the glue as close to those points as possible and as close to the edge as possible, but you don't want any oozing to happen. So I've got something to take off the end here. Every now and then you just have to clean up the end of your glue bottle. And it flicks off pretty easily. If you rub your fingers together, you can get it off. Make sure you don't get those on the floor. You can just flick them off into the garbage can. Okay, so I like to use tweezers. All right. So now I think I'll use my fingers actually. So Tombow should let you move this around a little bit to get it on there. Okay, still got glue on my fingers here. That's why I wear crummy jeans. I wipe my hands on my jeans all the time. These are my crafting jeans. All right, so that's the front of our card done. Now we want to glue on the designer series paper onto our other triangles. So we're putting one on here. And again, I would use your Tombow glue. Yes, Tombow glue is the way to go, because then I was able to slide that so I can see my border on the side there. And let's do this one. And the exciting part is showing you how these all come together on the front of the card. There we go. Now we still need the glue. So we now have to attach these to the front of the card. Now these go on. So here's the card. I'm going to pull this back. So you take the bottom of the triangle here, and it's going to go on like this. So the bottom of that triangle, so if you put it up on its right angle, the bottom is going like this. And then you're going to rotate this to get all the points on the edges of the card. So a point at the edge here, at the edge here, and at the edge up here. So you're going to glue that on like that. And then this one is going to go like this, okay? So you're lining it up basically by getting these points to go to the edges. So it's going to go on like that. Okay, so you do one at a time. Now the key thing is that you don't want glue down on this part of it. Okay, you want to make sure you glue this part. So what I do is I just put my finger at the back, you see, hold it, and now I know not to go below that part. So I'm just going to put a little line across and get a little bit of glue on there. Okay, so what I found handy, I took my tweezers and I held the top up because I don't want to glue that down yet. And I'm just doing that so that I can line up those edges, and then I can rotate this top to the top edge, right like that. Okay, so if you have a pair of tweezers, that might really help you. I'm just going to get rid of that bit of glue that's on there. When you want to erase the Tombow glue, you have to make sure it's really dry. My fingers are really sticky. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing with this one. So I'm just going to put my finger here, and I'm going to be left-handed for this. Just a little bit of glue. Okay. And same thing, I'm going to put my tweezers on here to hold the glue up. And I'm going to line up these edges. And then rotate the top. Make sure you're still lined up. Take your time. Keep checking your edges. There we go. And there is the front of your card. So the key thing is don't rush. Take your time so that you get it all lined up. Okay, so now we can build the front of our card. So I've got my fence here. I'm pretty well doing the same as my prototype, and then I've got my deer to sit in the back. So what I'm going to do is, the deer is popped up just at the top. So I've glued the bottom down, but I've put a dimensional at the top, and I've also put a dimensional on the oh my goodness, the balloon. Now, take a look at your die cuts, make sure that you know which is the right and the wrong side. So I'm going to pull in my regular size glue dots. I'm only putting one, no, these aren't glue dots, what am I saying? Dimensionals. I'm only putting one on his head area. And then I'm going to put a small dimensional on the balloon. Let's take the backings off. Okay. All right, so we're going to put this cute little deer, we're just going to center him on there. Let's figure out where this is going. We'll do him like this. So I'm going to put a bit of glue on the bottom of his body. So let's do that again. Figure out where we're going to put him. Right like that. So the top of his body pops up a little bit. And then let's put the balloon on. Now this one I made the balloon as if it's, you know, he's dancing and he's let go of it, but I'm going to try and put this in his as if he's holding this balloon. And there we go. Put that on there like that. And then I'm just putting a little bit of glue on the two ends of the fence. And we'll stick this down on here. Like so. Isn't that just the cutest card? So cute. I mean, it's the deer. I mean, not deer. What am I saying? It's the sheep that make it cute. Of course, all animals are so cute. Okay. So the next thing now is to do the inside of the card. So all we do is I'm going to stamp this "So Glad It's Your Birthday" before I put this inside my card. So make sure you orient it the right way. And we're going to ink this up. This font is very cute too. There's an adorable B and an R in this font. Can you see the B and the R? Just too cute. And I'm checking to make sure I have no black along the edges here. And we'll put this right in the middle. There we go. And now we can glue this to the inside of the card. And this pretty well lines up right at the top of the designer series paper here from corner to corner. There you go. And there is your card. Is that not the sweetest thing? You can do this in all kinds of designer series papers, all kinds of themes. I mean, you can do any stamp set, any die cuts for this 3-point card. I think it's very cute and it's very simple to make. Now, I will tell you that I found maybe 2 or 3 of these 3-point cards on YouTube, and they were all mostly square cards. And I really wanted to have a card that will fit in our regular sized envelopes. And so I did redesign this. These are all my measurements. I couldn't find anybody else who did a standard card, A2 card. So I reworked all the measurements on here. So be sure to check my blog post to get those. And if you like what you see and you want to be reminded of future posts and videos, then please do subscribe to my newsletter. So there you go, 3-point card and free celebration. Cute little sheep. Thank you, everyone. Hope to see you again next week. And be sure to check out my Facebook page, From Me to You Paper Crafts, because I go live twice a week, Monday morning at 10 and Thursday evening at 8 p.m. I'd love to see you there. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye for now.